Just like every other word problem in mathematics, the first thing we need to do is to understand the problem, assign symbols for the variables, express the problem in mathematical form, then we now solve the resulting equation. So let us look at some of the examples, starting with example 1. It says that the base of a triangle is 3 cm longer than its corresponding height. If the area is 44 cm, find the length of its base. Okay, the base of a triangle is 3 cm longer than its corresponding height. So let us start with writing our solution. So if we have the base of a triangle, so what it's saying is that the base is 3 cm longer. That means the height plus 3 will give us the base. That's what they mean by 3 cm longer. So the base will give you the height plus 3 cm. Okay. Now the area of a triangle of this kind of variables given, which is the base and the height, is equals to 1/2 base times height. Okay. Now to express this area in one variable, we have to replace b with h plus 3. Therefore, a is going to give us 1/2 h plus 3 into h. Okay, so when you cross and multiply, you have 2a equal to h square plus 3h. Okay, so with that now we can put the value of our area. So that will give us 2 into 44 equal to h square plus 3h. Okay, so bring this value inside. You now have that h square plus 3h minus 88 will give you 0, because when you bring this one here, what remain here will be what? 0. So you can see that we have gotten our quadratic equation. So whenever you get your quadratic equation like this, the next thing is to solve, and the method that you want to use to solve all depends on you, which of the method that you find very easy. Okay, for me, I find quadratic formula very easy to use, so I'm going to use quadratic formula to solve. So my a now is equals to 1, b equals to 3, and c equals to minus 88. So h is going to give me minus b, which is 3, plus or minus square root of b square, which is 3 square, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times minus 88. Okay, all over 2 into 1. So this will give me minus 3 plus or minus square root of, if you simplify this with your calculator or with your multiplication table. Okay, so when you simplify the inside this square root, you are going to have 361 all over 2. So that will give you minus 3 plus or minus square root of 361 is going to give you 19 over 2. So that will give you minus 3 plus 19 over 2, or minus 3 minus 19 over 2. Therefore, h is going to give you, from here, that will give you 16 over 2, or from here, minus 22 over 2. So h is equal to 8 or minus 11. You know that length or measurement cannot take a negative sign, so therefore h equals to 8 cm. Now, if the h equals to 8 cm, we can easily find the base. Therefore, base equals to 8 plus 3, that will give us 11 cm. Hence, I'm concluding my answer now. Hence, the length of his base equal to 11 cm. So you can see how we have solved that problem, moving from uh, writing out mathematical form of our problem, giving us a quadratic equation, using a method in quadratic equation, which is quadratic formula, to solve and getting our answer. Okay, so we are going to look at the next question and see how that question will look like. So, two numbers have difference of 3. The sum of their squares is 89. Find the numbers. The sum of their squares. So let us write out this statement in mathematical form. So write our solution. Two numbers. So let the two numbers be x and y. Okay, so the difference of these two numbers is 3. So x minus y, x minus y equal to 3. So this is actually an example that can give us one linear, one quadratic simultaneous equation, because this forms the linear equation. Now, the second statement there is going to give us the quadratic equation. They say that the sum of their squares, so x squared plus y squared, is going to give me 89. So that's equation 2. Okay, so how do we solve? We have had a class, and the video is on this channel on one linear, one quadratic simultaneous equation. If you check it out, you can see a lot of questions that we solved there. Some of them look like this. Okay, so what we are going to do, I will say from equation 1, make x subject of formula. From equation 1, make s subject of the formula. So that will give me that x equals to 3 minus y plus y. Okay, because minus cross over become plus. So 3 plus y. So that will give me equation 3. Now the next thing is to replace x in equation 2 with the value of s in equation 3. So put 3 in 2. So that will give us 3 plus y is the same thing with y plus 3, all square plus y square equals to 89. So when I open this bracket, I'm going to have y square plus 3y plus 3y plus 9 plus y square equals to 89. Okay, so the next thing is to collect like terms. So I have 2y square. This and this will give me 6y. Then bring this one in. So I have plus 9 minus 89 equal to 0. Okay, so that will give me 2y square plus 6y. These two will give me minus 80 equal to 0. So you can see that I have my quadratic equation here, so which I will go ahead and solve. I can decide to divide all through by 2 to reduce the coefficients, or I can also decide to solve this way. So let me try and use a factorization method for this particular problem. So before I do that, I'm going to divide all through by 2. Dividing all through by 2 is just to reduce the coefficients because they are all divisible by 2. So I'll have y squared plus 3y minus 40 equal to 0. Okay, so the next thing now is solving our resulting equation. Okay, so how can we solve the problem using factorization method, or is it factorizable? If it's not factorizable, then we can now use formula method to solve. Using factorization method here, so I need to find the coefficient. The coefficient of y squared is 1 and the constant is minus 40. So two numbers that can multiply to give me minus 40, and when I add it, I will have 3. So I think 8 times minus 5 will give me minus 40, and 8 plus minus 5 will give me 3. So I will use that y squared plus 8y minus 5y minus 40 equal to 0. Okay, so if I group that, that will give me y squared plus 8y minus outside 5y plus 40 equal to 0. Whenever you bring out minus outside, you are going to have change in sign of the next uh, uh, variable or coefficient. So factor out what is common here. Y is common. You have y plus 8 minus 5 is common. You have y plus 8 equal to 0. So that will give you that y minus 5 into y plus 8 equal to 0. So this will give you that y equal to 5 or y equal to minus 8. Okay, so with that value now, we can go ahead and solve for x. So let us partition this. So put y in equation 3. So put y in equation 3. X will give me 3 plus 5. That means s equals to 8. Or x equals to 3 plus minus 8. So s equal to minus 5. Okay. Therefore, when s equals to 8, y equal to 5. And when s equal to minus 5, y equal to minus 8. Okay, so these are the solution of our equation. You can check it and be sure that the answers are correct. When you find the difference between 5 and 8, it will give you 3. Then 8 square will give you 64, 5 square will give you 25, and when you add it together, you will get 89. So if you also test the second set of solution, you are going to have your answer. Okay, so let us look at another problem on the topic. So we have a problem on age. A problem on age. Okay, so let's see how this one will look like. So they say a woman is 3 times as old as her son. So first of all, define our variable. Let the woman's age be x, and let the son's age be y. Okay, so the first statement there is that the woman is 3 times as old as the son. Okay, that's s equals to 3y. Now, 8 years ago, so 8 years ago is the past. So the woman will be x minus 8 and the sum will be y minus 8. Okay, so that's 8 years ago. Now, 8 years ago, the product of their ages is 112. So 8 years ago, the product, which is x minus 8 into y minus 8, is equal to 112. Okay, so when you open your bracket here, you are going to have xy minus 8x minus 8y equal to 112 minus 64. Okay, so what I did there is that when I open this bracket here, minus 8 times minus 8 will give me 64. So when I push it over here to meet the numbers, it's going to become minus 64. So what I'm going to do, I have x as 3y. So I'm going to replace every s with 3y. So that will give me 3y into y minus 8 into 3y minus 8y equal to, when you subtract this, that will give you 12 minus 4 will give you 8. So you have nothing here. That will give you 48. Okay, I'll give you 48. So when you open this bracket, you have 3y squared minus 24y minus 8y equal to 48. So you can bring everything in. So you have it as 3y squared. This and this will give you minus 32y. Bringing this one in, you have minus 48 equal to 0. So you can see our quadratic equation. So the next thing now is to solve our quadratic equation and get the value of our y. Okay, so using factorization method here, you can have that 3 times minus 48 is equals to minus 144. So factors of 144, that when I add it, I'm going to get minus 32. So I think minus 36 times 4 will give me minus 144, and minus 36 plus 4 will give me minus 32. So I'm going to use that to replace this. So I have 3y squared minus 36y plus 4y minus 48 equal to 0. Okay, so you have 3y squared minus 36y plus 4y minus 48 equal to 0. Okay, so what is common? 3y is common. You have y minus 12 plus 4 is common. You have y minus 12. So that will give you that 3y plus 4 into y minus 12 equal to 0. So with that now, we can say that 3y plus 4 equal to 0, or y minus 12 equal to 0. Therefore, y equals to minus 4 over 3, or y equals to 12. So you can see that one of the values of y is negative, which age cannot be a negative value. Therefore, the only accepted value for y we can take is 12. So if y equals to 12, therefore s equals to 3 into 12, which is equals to what? 36. Okay, therefore their present ages are 36 years and 12 years. Okay, that's 36 years for the woman and 12 years for the son. Okay, so that's how we solve that particular problem. So let's go to the last question for this class. So this problem is talking about consecutive numbers. Now, consecutive numbers are numbers that follow each other. So if we are talking about consecutive numbers, we say that they just increases by 1, whereby if we are talking about consecutive odd or even number, then they are increasing by 2. So let's have our solution. Two consecutive odd numbers. So if the first one is x, the second one is going to be x plus 2. They say that the product of them is equal to 195. Therefore, x into x plus 2 equals to 195. When you open this bracket, you have s squared plus 2s equals to 195. So this one coming in, s squared plus 2s minus 195 equal to 0. Okay, so we have gotten our quadratic equation. So the next thing now is to use it to solve, use any method to solve the quadratic equation that we have gotten. Okay, so let's still use factorization. Okay, this time around, let us use formula method again. So I will have my S, my A here is 1, my B here is 2, and my C here is minus 195. So my S equals to minus B, which is 2, plus or minus square root of 2 square, which is my B, minus 4 into A is 1 and C is minus 195, all over 2 into 1. So that will give us minus 2 plus or minus square root of, if you simplify what is inside that bracket, you have it as 784 all over 2. So that will give you 7 square root of 784. That will give you minus 2 plus or minus 28 over all over 2. Okay, so with that now, therefore s equal to minus 2 plus 28 over 2, or minus 2 minus 28 over 2. So s is going to give us 26 over 2, or minus 30 over 2. So s equal to 13 or minus 15. So if that's my x, therefore the two consecutive odd numbers are 13 and 15, or minus 15 and minus 13. So when you keep, just add 2 to each of them, you get the next value. Okay, so that's where we are going to wrap up the class, and we are going to continue with other topics. So do well to check back and subscribe to the channel, share our videos. Thank you very much, and see you in the next class.